Hey guys, I'm Ashley from Are You Sure You Want to Do That? And this is Interviewing With. Today we have three amazing guests. You know and love them from the Thread Raiders channel, CA, Jordan, and Jacob. Thank you guys so much for being here.
Yay!
Woo!
Thanks for having us.
Happy to
Yeah,
be
thank
here.
Of
you.
course, of course. So the first thing I gotta ask. I want to know how did Thread Raiders get started?
In the beginning, there
Long,
was
long
nothing.
time ago. So it is a really long story, but to tell you about the turning point is that we had a group of friends who were on Twitter who were constantly talking to each other all the time. And there was this one moment where somebody had posted a picture of themselves and stated that they felt like they couldn't stream because of the way of how they looked. And it was really heartbreaking to everyone who we were all talking to. And then people started sharing photos of themselves and stating like for instance, I posted a picture and I was like, I feel like I can't cosplay because I'm overweight. And then another person reached out and said, I feel like this and this. And it just kept growing and growing. And it became this beautiful support system. And it was at that point that I knew that this could become something huge. And then we started talking about, well, what will our name be? And we figured, well, we basically raid threads. We go to other channels and we just talk about topics for weeks on end. Batteries were dying. Like it was really just this magical moment that happened. And to me, that's really where Thread Raiders began. For and for everybody else, it's a little bit different on when they joined at different time periods and how they found us. But that's really where it started for me.
Very cool. Can
Mhm.
you tell us a little bit about what Tread Raiders has coming up? What is in store for you guys?
So we have Extra Life coming up. So for those who don't know who Thread Raiders is, we actually help raise money for various organizations around the world. Um, and we also have a community in our Discord channel. We watch movies and hang out with each other and go to cons and do all this fun stuff together. It's pretty much a family.
I love that.
So Extra Life is our next one that's coming up, and that is November 6th to the 8th. It could be bigger. We don't know yet. Signups for that, if anybody wants to join or DM a game or be a player. I mean, anybody's welcome to sign up for these things. That will be available within about like a week or so. So,
Mhm.
Cool.
and Jordan.
That was actually going to be one of my questions. Is how can people take part in being a Tread Raider?
So anywhere, you can reach out to any of us. We'll be more than happy to talk to you. We do have a Discord channel that you can join. That's where a lot of us hang out. We also have like a Twitter DM where we talk. Um, yeah, you can meet us at conventions. We're always constantly, meeting up, doing things. We have like scavenger hunts. We now have, we're doing a Thread Raider housing thing now. When we get together at cons, if you want to make friends and stay with Thread Raiders, we'll match you up with somebody you're compatible with and room with and things like that. So,
Yeah.
I
yeah,
love
we do
that.
it.
I
Mhm.
didn't even know that was a thing, but that's of
Yeah.
course
Yeah,
the
well,
thing.
it was a new thing for this year, but then sadly COVID postponed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And then, of
hopefully
Yeah.
course,
next
we
year.
do have our Twitch channel too. So we
Mhm.
do have a number of streams, as well as, if anyone wants to try a system, we do try and do like a one shot or something to kind of showcase a different system, whether it be D&D or World of Darkness or Vampire the Masquerade or Honey Heist, with the hopes of one, showing other systems that are out there, but two, also bringing people together,
Mhm.
and getting them used to streaming. We also teach people how to stream, getting more comfortable with the systems, all of that.
Mhm.
So it's a really great community.
Yeah, we offer, one-on-one training if you're thinking about becoming a host or you're not really sure where to begin with streaming or you have ideas but you don't really know where to go with those. We definitely have different rooms and chats and things to help broaden your horizons and do amazing things because we've all been there. We've had technical difficulties. We make jokes all the time about all the crazy technical difficulties, but that's okay. That's
Yeah.
going to happen. So the greatest place to be to have that happen is at Thread Raiders because we completely understand.
We
Oftentimes it turns into hilarity too,
Yeah.
usually.
Mhm. We
we were
laugh about
just
it, we
having
pick
some
each other up
technical
and move on.
difficulties.
Mm.
um, so as we're talking a little bit about Tread Raiders, we're talking about um, different game systems. How did you guys get started into D&D? That goes for all three of you guys.
So I was.
Duval!
Duval!
Duel! I'm so not surprised that happened. So I was actually like, so back in the day, like I'm talking like in the year 2000 and like 2001 and stuff like that. There was a PC game, RPG named Neverwinter Nights, and Neverwinter is a very popular Forgotten Realms city, the Jewel of the North. And I was obsessed with that game, and knew that it was based off of, like, I believe D&D 3.5 or 3. And so I was like, so there's this natural like correlation. And then a buddy of mine had me over for a game, and I hated it, absolutely hated it.
Oh.
And so like then didn't play for God, I don't know, 18 years, something like that. And then my friend was like, hey man, like I have this like Disney like Pathfinder campaign, and I'm like, Disney, I'm in. And so next thing I know, it was a year-long campaign, and I was absolutely obsessed with. Fell in love with Critical Role and all the things, and then like that campaign ended, and I was just like, now what? And of course, you know, now that I DM, I understand like that, like, all right, well, I need to like go away, because at the time, like that DM was running two of these campaigns at once for that entire like year, and so he's just like, I need to go away. And it's like, and I was just like, well, I need to play though. Like, what the hell? Like, and of course, you know, classic, you know, there's no DMs, and then it's like,
Yep.
well, then why don't you become one? And I'm like, no, there's no way, I'm not good enough to. Oh, okay, well, then it's you know, imposter syndrome stuff, right? But then of course, it's like what's the alternative? The alternative is that no one plays, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I was just like, all right, cool, let's go learn how to do this, and then like, oh man, like this is awesome. And so like, you know, here we are, you know, 2 years later.
That's
Nice.
awesome.
How about you, CA?
So for me, I grew up in a time period where Dungeons and Dragons was associated with the devil, and my my family would not let me play or get anywhere near it. And it was so popular in high school, and I just watched from afar as others played, and it was so sad. And then when I left home, I moved to an area that didn't have Dungeons and Dragons. It was just to find a group to play with. It was just so like spread out that you couldn't find anything. So I was like, well, I want to play. So I went to a library, and I took out the book, and I learned the rules, and I ran it at the library. And, you know, anybody who was able to come on like Monday night, that's what we did. And I didn't know the rules. I had no idea what I was doing. I made a lot of mistakes, but it was totally worth it. Because now I'm part of this amazing game community, and I've been playing RPGs ever since.
Very
That's
cool.
awesome.
Jordan?
So I played a little bit in high school, on and off, but was also running around quite a bit. I really started to play in college. I was part of like a theater group, and so we would, you know, kind of as an exercise, because D&D is also great for improving.
Mm-hmm.
So trying to work on those skills and being able to get into characters quickly. So we would play games every so often. And then after graduating college, I started grad school. And I was in a couple of games where I actually ended up leaving D&D. There was a group that I was involved with that were, excuse me, not taking it seriously that a girl was at the table. And they knew some of my triggers and stuff and things that I was uncomfortable with. And they made it very toxic at the table. So I ended up walking away from D&D for a bit. But you know, I was watching Critical Role and really starting to miss playing. And one of my best friends, her boyfriend, now husband at the time, I hadn't met him yet because she lives up in Canada, but I've known her for years. And so she was like, well, you should get to know him. And we started talking about D&D, and then I was like, well, I'll try it. So I joined on D&D Beyond, and then that slowly got me back into the gaming and taking it back, you know, essentially getting more comfortable with who I am and you know, being a girl at the table. So yeah.
Well, yeah.
Feel that. I am always most of the time the only girl at the table. And until here recently, we just got a few girls at my table. But for the whole time, it's been me DMing for nothing but guys. So Yeah.
And that, I mean, that can be fine, but as long as they're respectful. Like if you're
Yeah.
getting a group that's really just like the amount of jokes that they were making and the things that they were putting my character through, it's just like, really?
That's not fair.
No, like no. So you just gotta find a good group, and I've been very lucky to find Thread Raiders too. So since then, that's been immensely helpful. You know, so yeah.
That's awesome. Um,
That's been like a really cool side effect of finding third graders was I was not aware of safety tools at all. Had no idea that it even existed. Didn't even know like why it was important. And then fortunately, like when I signed up to play in a game, I forgot who was DMing this particular one, but it was made very apparent to me like why it was important. Not that it was like shoved down my throat or anything like that. It was just like, oh yeah, it probably should be a break if it's a 4-hour game. Yeah, maybe I should know if somebody's so comfortable with this. Oh, because like my at-home games are like marathons, and like it's just
Yep.
and like I didn't even think about like, oh man, maybe we should take 5 minutes for everybody to go pee. Like it's fine.
No, safety tools are incredibly important, and that's one thing that we've really incorporated with Thread Raiders. We're a huge advocate for that, wanting to make sure, because I mean, yes, we game with each other online and we are a family, but we don't necessarily, as in a family, you don't necessarily share everything about yourself.
Right.
So there might be something that might be triggering that, the other person may not know about. So when we're planning our charity streams and stuff like that, we do safety tools ahead of time for the DMs and for the players. So that way the DMs have time to change things around if they need to. And also the players feel more comfortable. We have a lot of people in the community that these are brand new systems to them. These are strangers. They're not comfortable, sharing something that's very, vulnerable, being vulnerable in front of people. So we want them to feel comfortable. We want them to feel safe. This is a great tool to do that.
Especially since you don't know who has a trigger of anything.
Exactly.
And it could be something you would have never even thought of,
Yeah.
And from somebody like, for me, for instance, I have post-traumatic stress disorder. So there are certain things that it's like, okay, that might be too much. So to have these tools in place are just really, really helpful. It helps really break the ice and communicate between the player and the DM, which we found to be really important.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
like we had a situation in our Geek Attack game that was like very like triggering, but I was like okay with it, but everyone was like, because I brought it up on myself. I'm the one that actually like pitched it, and so but everyone was like you okay, and I'm like let's keep like pushing, because it was one of those things where like both as my character and as myself, I was like very like the stress levels were definitely going up. But like it was like good. It was still good to like be in that space and like role play that out.
And that was something that you had worked out with the DM in that instance too.
Right.
One of the things that, and I forgive me, CA, if I'm over speaking, but we firmly believe that at Thread Raiders with games you can heal through gaming. So using that to, start to maybe tackle those demons that might be, troubling for you in life. What's the symbolic thing for that? For you to start to kind of handle that situation, but also not feel like you're alone. It's not like you're actually fighting that alone. You have friends, you have a stop button at any time, and you can talk about it too. Right. But we're strong advocates for healing through gaming as well.
And that's actually how I, in college, I did a lot of research on the effects that gaming have with people who have various mental illnesses, especially post-traumatic stress disorder. I did a research project with Call of Duty and post-traumatic stress, and how, gamers actually find it to be very healing to be in that community, in that environment. And I felt like, because my degree is in psychology, that I really wanted to show, because when I grew up, it was very much like gaming is so bad for you and it's this terrible, evil thing and it's going to make you a serial killer, and you're like, what is going on? It escalated so fast, and I really wanted to prove that no, like gaming can have these amazing positive effects with people who are going through things, especially with depression and anxiety, and social anxiety is a big thing too, that it really helps out with. Yeah. I'm glad Jordan feels that way.
Love you.
I absolutely agree with each and everything that you guys are saying. When I didn't know safety tools, like Jacob was saying, until I joined a game with you guys back in June, I think.
Yeah.
And
Would have been June.
yeah.
Would have been June.
And Jacob was going through all of the safety tools, and I'm like, yeah, no, I didn't even know this was a thing. And
Right.
right afterwards, I started using it in my games, like,
Exactly.
asking my players, hey, are you okay with this? What's your limits? Because we might push that, and I want to know, and I don't want to hurt any of you guys.
Yeah.
And so each session that I know there's going to be some really intense stuff, I ask them, are you guys okay with this? If not, just give me a big red light and say stop.
Yeah.
And we will stop right then and there.
Yeah.
So yeah, I absolutely agree, and D&D is a huge part of healing. I know for me anyway, because it helps a lot with my depression and anxiety.
Yeah.
And for those who are, looking for a really good safety toolkit, Kienna, I guess it's Kiennas.
Kienna.
If you go to their Twitter page, you can actually download a toolkit. It's completely free. And it has everything from like cards that you share with each other, like green light, red light cards, or maybe, different ways to explain, well, you can type this in Zoom if it's an X, this is what this means. So it has all different types of safety tools because everybody's a little bit different on what works with them. And sometimes when you have people at your table, they prefer it to be anonymous too. So it goes a little more in depth of the importance of having that. And they also have this massive survey, which Duval has seen me use. For the Hunger Games, and then I added even more to it. Yes. It has everything. Like, are you okay with bugs? Are you okay with this? Are you afraid of the dark? It literally goes through all of these different topics that you could fill out. So I would definitely take a look. Like I said, it's completely free. And check them out.
And then you can modify it obviously to your needs
You
too,
can.
so you're not using the massive.
Exactly.
Because that can be a little bit overwhelming to DMs and to players. So whenever we're doing one shots and stuff with the charity streams, or even for some of our campaigns, we'll modify it so it's just specifically to that one shot.
And it's all in Google Drive, so
Yeah.
it goes right to your drive, and you can use them at any time.
Very cool.
Extremely helpful.
Thank you guys for that. And what is it called again?
A safety toolkit. I can give you the link if you want to put it.
Sure.
Link in the description below.
Yeah, I'll link that. Talking a little bit about DMing, what is you guys' DM struggles? We'll start with Jordan.
For me, it can often be combat. For me, I'm a very story-minded person. I lose interest when the players are just kind of like, oh, I hit it. Like, give me more. Like, for me, I'm like, I need to see it. So that's why even as a player, I will literally, like, Duval see me do it a million times. I will make the sound effects. I will make the motions of what I'm doing. Just because, then the DM can kind of feed off of that energy and kind of take that initiative. But for me, combat can be the most difficult because you want each kind of section to sound very different, and it can get very repetitive very quickly. So for me, kind of dealing with that, that would probably be the biggest trouble as a DM. I've definitely found ways to make it better, and trying to, and Bill, I've noticed, has started to do this in our Geek Attack games of like, what does that look like? What does it sound like when you do that? Like asking those questions, because I think, especially since we do have a large number of people in the community that are new to D&D or whatever system it is, they may not feel like they have the initiative to really be able to do that on their own. So wanting to hand those reins to the person, how's it look to you? How's your spiritual weapon look? What color is it? Does it have a smell? Like, what does it make music? What are those things that can then help the players kind of get more into the game as well? So that's the biggest issue for me, but I'm working on it.
I love asking my players, so what's your color? What's your aura color? Give me give me that. I need to know so that I know what color your Eldritch Blast is or something.
What's the sound it makes? It may not be a
It adds
It
to
might be like ding
Yeah.
ling ling or something.
Right, it could be.
The super. Look at my super cute Eldritch Blast.
Eldritch Blast. Ding ling ling.
Yeah, we're in an anime now.
I love it. I'm gonna do that now.
Yep.
I'm sorry, CA. What were you saying?
I know. That's what I really love about Obnox Sean, because he
Sean
is a
is the
voice actor
best.
and comes up with all of these crazy sounds and noises you never would have thought of, and you're like, oh, that just really added to the game. Or like,
Mhm.
if a spell is cast on them, they actually act it out. You know, like, okay, well, your tongue is swollen, and then he acts like he just cannot speak, and he drools on stream. Like, I love editing those videos.
He had actually, in the last game I DM'd for him, someone used the Wand of Smiles on him. So he had to
Mhm.
smile for like 3 minutes straight.
Yeah.
And he held it. And he was texting me the entire time, like, my face hurts. But he held it the entire
He
time.
did. Mm-hmm.
That dude
He's
commits.
amazing.
Yeah.
How about you, CA? What is your DM struggle?
For me, it's new players. It's very difficult because I get a lot of requests to be at my table. But if I don't really know you, I have a hard time doing that. Just because I've had so many really weird people in my life who have joined and have done really awkward things at the table. And I just don't want to make everybody else uncomfortable. And I do have a slight fear that, like, I'm going to go live one day with a bunch of people I don't know, and something terrible is going to happen. I'm going to have to cut the stream. And, like, I don't want to be that person ever, you know? So that would be for me. It's really difficult. Usually, if I run a game, it's people I have associated with or talked with. And I try to make sure that the players can feed off of each other very well, you know, that they're comfortable with each other, because I feel like that really adds to the role play and the story that you're trying to create. So.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Jacob?
Imposter syndrome by like a lot. Because you know it's especially when especially in these very remote times, like it's really hard to read the table, because a lot of, I think, of being a really good dungeon master is being able to read
Mhm.
and react to things. And so that's very difficult when you've got, you know, a 4-inch square of someone, right? So, you know, so in being able to communicate that back and forth is difficult, but it's a skill that you learn with time. And I feel like I've done a decent, okay job with it. But, that's absolutely like that. Cause like and I even, put like, in Maddie's Discord, like there's like a daily like affirmations like channel, and like this was after like a session. I was like going into it, I was like incredibly like worried and like, am I ready? Like, is it going to be good? Like, you know, and like I'm pretty good with like the pressure cooker. Like I like revel in the chaos of things.
Mhm.
But this was the thing I was really worried about. And like, and the session went. Can I cuss on this? Okay, great. The session went fucking perfect. And so it was. Jordan is so proud of me right now.
You know I'm giving you the look, too. That's the thing.
I don't even have to look at
It's
you.
like, wait, where am I?
I can feel it.
Uh-huh.
Jordan, I get in trouble with Jordan.
No, you didn't get in trouble.
I don't. It's like, she just goes, "Duval."
He literally, that's all it
Aw.
is, Duval.
Yeah,
He goes, I'm sorry.
It's okay. I know. I'm sorry. I think I'm tied for the world record of F-bombs on the Thread Raiders Switch channel. So
Yeah.
So anyway, so it's like, it was fine. It went super well. You were really great at this. Shut up, brain. So, which I will do here in like 2 hours. So.
So we talked a little bit about struggle. How about pet peeves? Jacob, what's your pet peeve at the table?
Man. Lack of party cohesion, like, and this is, I think it's not just like a player like thing. It's like, you know, out of game that there's supposed to be this like togetherness, right? And especially if you've been gaming together for a while, and like, I want to go off and do this thing, and you know, there's no like space created for everyone to play and create together. That's a big problem for me. And also like, and because that's something that I'm dealing with now, and as well as like when folks aren't like tuned in, like you know, I had a player like in the middle of some pretty crazy combat, like be like, look at this meme, and I was just like,
Really?
No.
Yeah.
like you're about to die. Can we focus on that, please?
No.
And it's tough because like that, like, because, and this actually goes back to the imposter syndrome point too, where it's like, well, like, are they doing that because they're bored? And I actually, we had a conversation about it, and no, I was just, you know, waiting my turn. It's just like, all right, cool. And then like, because before COVID, like I actually like, even like, there's been this conversation about banning phones on Twitter, and I was just like, because it was like one of those things where it like just was enough. Like I spend an inordinate amount of time trying to make this fun. Like at least like be with me here on this, right? And honestly, banning phones was one of the best decisions I made for that campaign because everyone got locked the fuck in and is having a good time. So that's just my 2 cents.
CA, what is your DM pet peeve?
The one thing I love is Brett. Brett in our community is just so wonderful and so resourceful. And whenever like I need help, I'm on stream and I don't know the rule, they know it. They got it, right? What I don't like is outside Brett, there are people who like to backseat DM. Okay. I am not the most knowledgeable about this system. I learn new systems so often. The rules are just, they're not with me. Okay. So as a DM, I'm also very, very flexible because I want to allow players to be as creative as they want to be. You want to fly, we'll make it happen. We'll figure out how to get that to you. You know, especially with charity events, the donations keep coming in and they're changing the game. You have to be flexible to allow for all this craziness to happen. We've had chickens and monkeys that look like bananas and like
I was a goat with a sword. I mean, you just go with it.
Right? It just happens. And I want space for that. However, there are people who love to be rule by rule. And if you break that, sometimes you get like that occasional player who's just like, well, on page 343, you should be dead because you didn't eat beef jerky today. And you're like, what just happened, right? It drives me nuts when it's kind of like every time you do a move or you allow something to happen in a game and that person's like, no, on this page, according to this game, according to this, and you're just like, look, we gotta move forward. That is just, it's a pet peeve for me. If you have an issue with how I'm running the game, meet with me afterwards. Talk to me and I'll see if I can make things different or, you know, change the game a bit so it can be a little bit more interesting to you or whatnot, but not like while I'm in midstream or like in the middle of the game in front of everyone, because I don't like to be confrontational and you know,
See, I love confrontation, so just point me out.
You know that, you all. Love you.
Love you too.
I would say that would be my pet peeve.
Jordan?
So I definitely agree with both Duval and CA about one, engagement, but also the rules lawyering. Brett is actually I call him my Batman DM because I'm not so hot with the rules, but I know enough. And I'm kind of the mindset, if it's cool and it makes sense as in not OP, then let's go for it. Like, it doesn't really, this is storytelling. I mean, if there are dragons in a game, anything can happen. Like, let's just go with it. Yeah. So, my major pet peeve, and this happened when I actually first started DMing, is when, and this kind of goes into engagement, when people are eating at the table and you can actually hear it while you're DMing. I know it probably sounds really, really stupid, but I don't want to necessarily hear that when I'm delivering like this heart-wrenching, to give the instance, Brett was actually in my game and he had just been told that his father had died in the game. And so there was this really heartfelt kind of moment, very serious moment. And all the time I'm hearing chips being crunched in my ears as I'm trying like to have this moment. And you know, the person's on the phone and I'm hearing comments in the background, like they're not taking the care and attention to be, you know, polite and mute yourself, take yourself out of that scene, even if whatever, and just letting that other person kind of take the stage.
Mhm.
And they would get very upset whenever the focus was not on them. So it kind of, understanding that everyone needs to share the spotlight,
Yeah.
but also just being respectful of others in the game. That for me, like, is major. If I see that you're on the phone and you're not paying attention to what's going on, okay, I can understand if you're looking up a spell real quick. I totally get that. But if you're literally like you're looking down like this the entire session, like what are you doing kind of
Oh,
thing.
I know.
So it's like, do you even know what's going on? Like, that kind of thing. So a lot of it, I guess, is kind of tied with the engagement, but just being also respectful of others and also being respectful of the different styles that everybody has. Some people might want a hardcore, dark game. Others might just want something fun. There's no need to like trample on that fun, talk about it. I think personally, all of us as DMs, we understand that there are ups in the games and there are downs in the games, but it's important to appreciate both. There's nothing wrong with either. So I think it's just, making sure everybody understands that and is supportive of that.
I
For
absolutely
sure.
agree.
And to kind of add to that, like Appendix A of that point, I think that's like, and that's another thing that I just third graders in general has given me way more than I ever anticipated. Like I was just like, because I was playing in, I was playing in a game for I think it was Stinkapalooza. For a dear friend of ours running into some issues. And I think we talked about I'm Not Sean here a little earlier. And he was just like, join this Discord. And I was just like, okay, who the hell is all these people? Oh, wow, there's a lot of people in here. Wow, crowded room, eh? Okay, cool. New friends, let's do it. But like, I also learned that session 0 is more important than I ever anticipated too, because those are like the conversations that Jordan's alluded to. Like those are when those can happen, because I have several of my at-home games that didn't really have one. We just kind of like jumped in, and now later we're kind of running into a few different weirdness, but it's because of like the stylistic differences, and this player wants this and this player wants this, but those are two opposite things and they're at the same table. So it's just like, how do I like maneuver that around and twist things around and make that happen? And I wouldn't have had to do that if I kind of knew that ahead of time a year ago. But you lesson learned, right?
Live and you learn.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. I'm rule of cool. That's just me.
Yeah.
For sure.
It's like we're here to have a good time. We're here to laugh and tell a story and tell you guys a story. So let's just have fun. Rule lawyers just don't want that to happen. And it's like,
oh my god.
Rocks fall specifically on you.
Yeah, right. you sir in chat, you are dead. Bye. You take 10d10 fire damage.
100d100 lightning.
Right. Because see my hat? See my hat?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
That's what it's real. It's real. Because I said this. It's my world, you're just living in it.
What is your favorite part about being the DM?
That.
Yeah.
It's
your little ants.
It's my playthings. No, collaborative storytelling, truthfully, and just seeing like people like my favorite moments. And I think this is something we can all agree on is when, as a dungeon master, you know that you're killing it when you sit back and do nothing and just watch players play.
It's beautiful.
To the point where like I'll just go. Like I'll just like I'll see you guys later. Like that's that's the best. Like there was a moment where like this was many moons ago that like it was like just people just role playing and like just having moments after moment, and like this was like I didn't say anything for like maybe 10 minutes, which is insane. Mm-hmm. And it, like to the point where I was just like, holy shit, this is so cool. Oh my god, like how did we get here? So like and it was like a well-earned moment. Like that's what you do that for. Like so that's like worth the oh my god 45-page Google Doc campaign pages of notes.
Yep.
How about you, Jordan? What is your favorite thing about being the DM?
I definitely agree with the collaborative storytelling. It's wonderful to kind of, set the foundation and then the players just rolling with it, and you're not really even sure where they might take it. For me, kind of seeing my players get outside of their comfort zones a bit, and play something that is the complete opposite of them in any way. Or honestly, I know it sounds awful, but seeing them a little bit frazzled as they're, trying to figure out a situation. Brett was actually in my game and he was, did a counter spell so he wouldn't get disintegrated. And I was trying to describe it. I didn't let him know that he saved. But I was trying to describe it. He's like, but I saved Zelda. I'm like, I know, I'm explaining it. So like that moment of joy that he was panicking because he's normally so put together. That's great. And also just the moments of, okay, well, and that's where we're going to end the session, hearing the groaning of like, oh man, like I want to keep going. And I was just getting into it, and then trying to schedule the next one. Probably the one though that stands out to me most is I had a player that was very new to the game and had kind of had a similar experience to mine that she had been, kind of ostracized from other groups because she's a girl. And she felt like she was very empowered to be in my game and felt very safe in my game. And she came a huge way. She was very quiet session 1. By the end or midpoint of the campaign, she was a firehouse in terms of confidence and stuff. So that is like a DM, but also as a person was amazing to kind of see that being explored. So that's a proud moment for me.
Oh, how about you, CA?
Watching the players create the story. I meet a lot of DMs who plan out every little moment in detail and like this is going to be the world, and then they end up getting so disappointed because it doesn't go that way. I love when it doesn't go that way. I think it's great just watching the players create the world that they're in. I literally describe this area and then they bring life to it. That is my favorite thing. And no matter how crazy it gets, the story is always memorable to me because we've done bizarre, crazy things. And even Duval in like the Hunger Games became like a T-Rex, right?
Hell yeah! I literally was waiting to surprise people with that, like for like 3 hours.
And it was such an epic ending.
There was that. I got turned into a goat and kept getting killed in the game for charity. I was fine with it. And CA's like messaging me like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Hey, it's fine. Like, let's just go with it. It's fine. Like, I'm not mad about it."
Absolutely insane. I was in chat for that. I was just like losing my mind. Absolutely batshit.
But I feel like if you plan everything out, those beautiful moments would have never happened. And so just creating the world and letting people have a field day with it, I love that. I love the chaos that my players bring to the table. That's what it's all about for me.
I will say though, a quick compliment to CA. CA has the best descriptions of anyone that games with. I'm serious. Like I literally like I think we're talking about the Hunger Games one. I like you were in the middle of describing something and I messaged Jordan. I was just like, how is she so good at this?
I have to agree. She also I think we're all great DMs and Predators has a ton of great DMs. CA also has a way of looking at something and changing the narrative. So there was one shot that I was in with her, and instead of actually doing harm to the monster, we needed to heal the monster in order to save it. And like that's not something you think about as a player about doing. Instead of hurting somebody, help it and do it in this way. And it was a really amazing way. I'm always like, CA, can I please be in your game, please?
It just amazes me that you say that, Duval, because I've been told my whole life that I'm a horrible writer. And so I gave it up. I just stopped writing. And it wasn't until, I actually DM'd that some of that started coming out, to be able to describe your environment. Because I want you to be able to visualize where you're coming into, because I am a very visual person. And so if you say you walk into a room, that doesn't tell me or what I can do in that room. So I try to be, as visual as possible so that you can see what's in my mind. And then you can, have a good
No, you're
Yeah.
amazing.
The show.
I don't know what to do myself.
You're amazing.
Oh, that is so awesome. I yes, yes, yes to all of them. Um, I love them. I love them all. My players are. I literally just let them. I give them the world. I give them a couple of things, and I'm like, here,
Mhm.
go, do your
Yeah.
Go
thing.
forth.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I have them make the names of their towns. I don't force them to be okay. You're from, this town. No, what town are you from? Make your town name.
Hmm.
This story is about you, where
Mhm.
you're from, what you're doing. Here's my little story over here, and all over here is my players.
Mhm.
And that's for me. That's what makes me happy.
That's the same
Yeah.
thing for me as a player. Like, I love being in games where I can just do weird stuff because I come up
Yeah.
with a lot of weird ideas. So
Weird
the
but
fact
wonderful.
I'm allowed to
Having
like
DM for you, like,
Jordan gave me a mimic kingdom
mhm.
and I
That's
am drawing it out.
amazing.
It's so cool. Like, that doesn't happen ever.
She also has like the
I
situation.
do.
Yeah, she's got a bunch of little mimics.
I do. My babies.
Mimi the mimic is the one that stands out to me the most.
Yes. And it
Um,
inspired a cosplay.
Yeah.
I love
That's
it so much.
ridiculous.
How about DM advice, guys? Sometimes, you pick up the book, even as veteran DMs or what, and you look at the new rules and you're like, wow, this is a lot.
Mhm.
As first getting into the game and having my DM teach me how to roll stats, and I will never forget this. He's like, okay, we're gonna teach you how to roll up a character, and I'm like, why would I do that? I'm only gonna play like this one character, and I'm not gonna be like a dungeon master.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm eating those words.
Look at you now.
2 years
I'm
later,
I'm never gonna interview anyone. I'm never gonna start my own thing.
No.
I am absolutely eating those words 2 years later.
Mhm.
But it was intimidating, like getting the book in my hands, and like I didn't think I would DM because, again, there's so much. You got all this lore and all these things and this world. Like, it's scary. So, what can you guys say to new DMs who are aspiring or just getting started? How can you help them on their adventures? We'll start with Jacob.
Sure. So, one kind of meta point around the big DMG book, Matt Coble has famously said that he's never read it. You don't need to read it.
Yeah.
You don't. Not at all.
Mm-hmm.
I poked at it like a little bit, but it's not by any means a requirement at all. So that's number one for me. Number two is trust yourself.
Mhm.
And you because we talked about people are coming to the table to have a good time together collaboratively. It is not all on you, and you will make this mistake because I certainly have, and I think every dungeon master at least at some point is like, oh my god, like I have to like do all these things, and then it becomes like a chore, and it's like that's not even like you're a player too, so like that's at most super important. So that's number two. And for me, number three is like just take a moment and like pause, which is something that I am terrible at, but it makes moments shine.
Mm-hmm.
Let that uncomfortable silence sit. Especially if you got some music playing, let that bleed into the scene.
Yeah.
That's a big one for me.
How about you, CA?
Make lots of mistakes and don't get discouraged. I have learned a lot by making mistakes. That's really where I've gotten to where I am now, is just making mistakes, not being afraid to do that because it's okay. It's human nature to make mistakes, and just in life, and with the game, you're not going to be able to learn if you're too afraid to make those mistakes. And don't get discouraged. If you run a game and some of your players are not exactly thrilled with how it went, Listen to what they have to say. Don't take it personal. Don't quit the game because it didn't go well. Take that and improve upon it. Okay. Maybe it wasn't so descriptive. Well, you can work on that to make it descriptive. Maybe your players are more role players and they're not really combat heavy people and you did a war scene. That doesn't make you a bad DM. It just means you need to change some things up for this particular group. And if it didn't work for this group, it doesn't mean it won't work for the next one. So keep that communication flowing. Make sure that they're telling you how they feel and you are, just doing your best that you can do at the table and make sure everyone's having fun, but make those mistakes, it's perfectly fine. It's okay.
Absolutely. Jordan?
So again, I of course agree with Duval and CA. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. One of the biggest things that's been a growing moment for me as a DM is to actually DM for other DMs. I think that helps incredibly. I'm one of those people that I have not read the entire book front to back. I haven't. I've read the majority, and I've learned as I've played over the number of years, but I'm not ever going to have it memorized, and that's fine. For me, I'm also not completely tied. I do appreciate the modules, I do, but I'm more of a homebrew. So I'm not afraid to kind of look at other resources. You can certainly use the modules as inspiration. You can use music or art or TV or anything for inspiration. There's no wrong way to really do that in terms of trying to create a story. Just make sure that when you're checking in with your players about what they want to do too, what they're looking for, that you're all on the same page, versus them, they're looking for, goblin heisty kind of tactics and you're instead of planning a vampire kind of campaign instead. So making sure that those communication lines are open, I think that's incredibly helpful. I always ask for feedback after every session, like, hey, what did you think went well? What do you think we can improve upon? What can I do? What is there anything you guys want to work on for your characters, like especially if they're starting to develop some kind of character arc and where they're seeing where they're going. So kind of keeping those open lines of communications open as much as you can. And, just not, I agree completely. Taking risks, go for it. There's no wrong way to really do this game. As long as everyone's having fun, go for it.
That's all that matters.
You are doing it right if everyone's having fun. That's it.
Yeah.
So we are getting to the part of the interview where we play some games. Are you guys up for this?
Of
I'm
course.
so ready.
Awesome. Before we do get into that, I would love for you guys to plug any of your stuff. See, I know you just talk about Extra Life. How can everyone find you guys, get involved into the community?
Okay. So I am Chaotic Anarchy. It's with an extra A, so it's like Anarchy. You can find me on Twitter. We hang out at the Thread Raiders community. So if you're at Thread Raiders, you can find us on Twitter, and that also has our links for our Discord channel, our Twitch also. We're a little bit of everywhere. So you'll definitely be able to find us. And Extra Life, like I said, is November 6th. To the 8th so far. It may be bigger. And if you want to sign up for that, that will be up within the next week or so, and you can join our games, DM. You can even volunteer, host, things like that, whatever you want. And we will be more than happy to have you. And anyone can join this community and hang out with us. There's no requirements or anything like that. We just want your love and support, and that's it.
If you like internet hugs, we got it.
Yes.
We do. And pizza and tacos.
Yes, and you have to tell us pineapple on pizza? Yay. Or
Yes.
Yes. It's a very important question.
Yes.
Yeah.
You are outvoted, Jordan.
I don't care.
Voted off the island.
Hey, we just said it earlier. Don't be afraid to take risks, right? I love pineapple, not on pizza.
Oh, you're missing out.
I'm sorry. I've
So
tried
good.
it. I
So
just
good.
don't like it. And
Okay.
I mean, CA is my Thread Raider wife. I appreciate the artistry that is pineapple on pizza. I just don't like it. But I will appreciate it from afar.
I still love you.
I still love you too.
Yeah.
And tacos.
Just sad, but I love you.
And
Well, that just means more pineapple pizza for you.
All right, that's true.
I can't
I'll
fight
take
that.
Wow.
Nope.
What a way to bring it back around.
Yes. That's why she's my wifey.
Jordan, how can they find you? Duval, same. Jordan?
So I'm at D&D Jordan Lee. I'm on Twitch, Twitter. I'm also all over the Thread Raiders Discord. I'm one of the admins with CA, and actually Sean, who we've mentioned several times in the interview. So I'm always there on Tuesday nights on Thread Raiders. I'm on Geek Attack. So we just started our second season. We're brand new characters. And I'm actually playing with Duval, who's fantastic. I'm also doing a Monday game starting in October, and that's going to be on Mini Terrain Domains channel.
Cool.
And a Vampire the Masquerade game, which will be happening every other week starting next week. So we're doing Savannah by Night. So
Oh my god, I want to. It's amazing.
well, come to Thread Raiders. We're putting stuff together. But I'm
Absolutely.
all over the place, so just tweet at me and come on over to Twitch and the Discord.
Mhm.
Duval?
Yeah, so yeah, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram, Duval King Jabub, Jabub. I am the host and dungeon master for Duval and Dragons on twitch.tv/Somatic Games, 7:30 Eastern Time, not this Sunday, but next Sunday. The game that I'm preparing right after this is going to be the second episode of, it's simply titled The Heist, second of a 3-shot. And that's on twitch.tv/The Games Tavern. It'll be on YouTube later too, depending on when you eventually see this. And Geek Attack, of course. I'm ridiculously honored to be a part of that absolute insanity. So that's great as well. I'm forgetting something probably, but yeah, that's probably good for now.
Then are you guys ready to get into it?
Let's
Of
do
course,
it!
ready.
All right. CA, I need you to pick your perfect party of 4. It can be from any universe. It can be celebrities. It could be your friends. It could be it could literally be anything. You can pick Batman if you want. Literally anything.
Ooh.
Natalie Dormer,
Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Momoa.
Of the Jason persuasion?
Oh,
Uh,
I'm so persuaded.
Okay.
Oh wow, that's hard.
And of course, you're the DM.
Matthew Lillard.
mm,
Okay.
Mm.
Okay.
I knew that was coming.
Hush. And Jordan, because I can't run a game without my bestie there.
Oh, you're gonna make, oh,
That would be
Be
such an
still my
amazing movie
heart.
I can't have without my bestie.
Swoon.
Be still my heart.
I'm gonna replay that just that reaction like over and over and over again.
I was like, oh, she's gonna pick some other celebrity. You should send me.
That is an amazing party.
That was so cute.
Jordan, who is your perfect party of 4 that you're DMing for?
It's funny too because I was gonna say CA, so I have to. She's amazing, and Duval as well. I'm gonna make it 5 because I'm gonna make it 5.
Okay.
Um,
Fine.
Because I'm changing the rules.
I'm changing the rules.
That's fine.
Hey, it's the
We can
rule
change
of
the
cool,
rules.
right? It's the rule of
Rule of
cool.
cool.
Rule
Yeah.
cool. We can change it up.
I'm gonna have to go with Hermione Granger,
Okay. Yes.
Katniss Everdeen, and Henry Cavill.
Oh,
Huh.
I would, yeah, exactly.
Mm.
yes.
But I love Duval and CA. They, I mean, it's hard to pick.
Yeah.
There's so many amazing players at
Mhm.
Threaders and everywhere. So, but Duval just brings an amazing energy to the game, and also does a great job of helping out the players that may not be so comfortable taking the spotlight. And
Yeah.
again, CA is just. I mean, there's a reason I gave her a Kingdom of Mimics because she is just so fabulous with her storytelling and with her characters. She puts so much thought into story, even if it's a one shot. She does so much detail with that. And like that as a DM, that's a gift. So
Absolutely.
I'm so honored and I love her so much.
Duval, who is your perfect party of 4?
Man, oh man, oh man. The list is very long. So I'm gonna switch it up actually. So few you guys don't know them very well, but hopefully so the DM that got me, into this absolute insanity. His name is also Sean, but we call him Scene because SEAN. It's just the correct way to say it. I'm just being honest. So definitely him. My buddy Eddie, who if you looked at the one shot that I ran, 12,000 BC, both Scene and Eddie were in that game. Eddie is my favorite person to play D&D with, and because I have grown to find this particular person absolutely untouchable when it comes to role play. Actual Sean is unbelievable. He's got to be in there.
Definitely.
Smitty doesn't know how good he is. I think,
Yeah.
in my humble opinion, he is
So
phenomenal.
good. He's
So
one of my
it's-
favorite DMs.
Yeah.
Yes, and because we got to throw a celebrity in there, not because I'm the DM, I can choose who I want, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it would just be absolutely insane to play with Matt Mercer. So I absolutely
Of course.
have to throw.
Yeah.
have
You
to
gotta throw Matt Mercer in there.
Gotta throw Matt Mercer.
Gotta.
But I think I will echo Jordan and pick a fifth. And that person will be Chris Perkins because
Yeah.
I just want to be
Yeah.
sit at my table and be a crazy kobold that dies in a half an hour. Please, okay, thank you. Please leave. Echoing that.
Well, I want a
wonderful
fifth
charisma.
person.
Do
My fifth person.
it. Do
My
it.
fifth person would be Patrick Rothfuss.
Ooh, yeah.
Okay.
They're
now what's
so
bad?
Funny.
Now what's bad is like all the other people that I'm thinking of are starting to pop into my head. I'm like, oh, that'd be a good pick.
Yeah.
And now I feel
Suddenly we have
really
a 10
guilty.
Now we have 10 people at our table now. What? We're
Yeah.
never going to be able to run a game. Just gonna,
Problem
sit
as a
at the table
DM when that happens though, like you
Mhm.
played that one character and it's like, well, wait, so and so was also there. Why didn't you play this character?
My next question is I need you guys to stat yourselves. So I'm putting you guys on the spot. We're gonna go with Jordan. What are your stats and your in real life class?
Okay. So strength is like, I'll say 11.
Okay.
It's okay.
And this is physical strength, right?
Yeah, physical strength. I'm gonna, since I use a spiritual stat in my game for strength, kind of, it's just how powerful you think your soul is, whether it be you believe in a god or not, it's just your belief in general. I'm gonna say that's like a 16. It's pretty high.
Okay.
Moments. Constitution 9. Not that great. 9. Just not that great. Wisdom 14. Intelligence is about 13, 14. And then I would say charisma is like an 18. Because it really,
Yeah.
honestly, it can depend on the mood. I'm very much an omnivert, so I can be very very out there and rambunctious and stuff. But at the same time, I also really appreciate the quieter moments and just trying to have a chill. So I would say that. I think I am probably a mix of, because multi-classing is of course a thing,
Of course.
of a bard as well as a ranger.
Okay.
Very much feel that.
Okay. That's solid. CA, what would you be?
And it's all the stats.
The stats.
All right. So, as far as physical strength, I'd say a 4. Because I can push the couch, I just can't pick it up. So,
You wore a gritty costume for the whole day. That
yeah,
takes a
but
bit of
anyone
strength.
can wear carpet, but I can't carry the carpet around.
That takes a lot of strength, though. I'm just going to advocate for my Trider wifey here,
Well,
and I kindly
couldn't pick up
disagree with that
gritty.
score.
I'll give myself a 5 for Jordan's sake.
Aw.
One extra.
Dexterity, I'd say 10. I can be flexible at times. And I'm really good at sleight of hand. I can do magic tricks. Con, so I was talking to Duval before this happened, and they said that that could be internal strength.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I would say I'd be 14 for
Okay.
internal strength. I've been through a lot, and I'm proud that I'm here, and I don't think I could have done it if I didn't have internal strength. Intelligence 11. I am street smart, but not so book smart. I know a little bit of everything. So I have great survival skills, but not so much knowledgeable when it comes to book things. Wisdom, I'd say 18, because I make mistakes all the time, and I have really great animal handling skills. So,
That's amazing.
hamsters love me, and so
They do.
I feel like-
Cats love her too.
That'd be
She's
pretty
got
hard.
2 cat nephews that adore her.
and
Aw.
little fish niece.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Can't forget my
Keyleth.
fish niece.
Yep.
And I feel like charisma would be around the same, about 18.
Love it.
I laugh and I think everything is funny, and I just love people so much, and I sing and dance and do all these charismatic things, so I think that's pretty high.
What is your class?
All right, so I thought about this. I feel like same thing with Jordan, who's the rule breaker. I would say I feel like I'm a bard. I feel
Yeah.
like that's my life as a bard.
Mhm.
But I also feel like really close to being a fighter also. I have fought really hard to get where I am, and I'm very much a survivor with all of my history of abuse, and I've had a really dark past. So the fact that I was able to fight to get to where I am today, so I feel like I'm both, like
You're a battle bard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
battle bard
Battle bard.
for sure.
I like that.
Mhm.
I realized I forgot dexterity. Dexterity would be like 11. I can be very quick, but I'm also very clumsy. I trip up the stairs all the time.
Yeah, that's why I
So-
hate doors. I'm that person who gets like the door handle in their pocket and they
Yeah, right.
door all the time. Yeah, that's me.
All the time. Duval.
Yo, so strength, I'm pretty good at the lifting and the picking people up and stuff with good scent. So I'll give myself a 14 there, 13, 14, probably 14 because LOL modifiers. So, and I was just reading that a score of 10 or 11 is normal human average. So, which is why CAD should give themselves more than a 5. Just saying. Not
agree.
calling anyone
I
out or
agree.
anything.
I totally am.
So, moving right along, Dex, I'm more strong than I am dexterous. I was in my younger years, and then 33 happened. So I'll give myself probably a 9 there. Constitution, I'm pretty hardy, and I can outdrink pretty much anybody. So
I can't wait
I'll
to
give
see you
my-
and Smitty together. That'd be
Oh
great.
my God!
Yeah.
Ah!
Mhm.
One day we
One
won't
day.
do fireball shots and hate ourselves. It's great. So I'm actually giving myself a solid 16
Okay.
for Constitution. Wisdom is absolutely my dump stat. I got some intelligence, but I'll kind of put them together. I am smart. I'm similar to UCA. Like I'm street smarts. I am a very proud 5-time college dropout. Over the course of like the last 15 years. But I can pick up my my fellow comrades when need be. So I'll give myself like probably a 13 on intelligence, and then for wisdom, I'll probably give myself like a 7. Maybe like an 8, maybe
Yeah.
I don't know, -1, 7, -2, maybe. And then charisma is absolutely 20.
Yeah, 20.
That
buddy.
is that is my secret sauce. That is my superpower. Is that something I'm really proud of? Is the ability to bring folks together under one common cause, which is let's go to the bar and drink. So when it's regular times, of course. But yeah, so that's me, and I'm actually stuck a little bit because I was thinking Valor Bard as well, because because I definitely like to perform, etc. And also like to you know do a little bit of the sword play because you know so there's like depending on my level, I'd probably multi-class fighter, battle master fighter with some valor bard, you know, because I definitely you know, like I said, I do enjoy a good confrontation. So.
I would just put you guys 20 across the board on all of it. But
Well,
Thank you.
Yay!
Yay.
are you guys ready for a little bit of this or that?
Sure.
Yeah. Let's
Sneak,
go.
sneak attack or rage?
Ooh, sneak attack.
Sneak attack.
Rage.
College of Valor or College of Swords?
Swords.
Valor.
Swords was like the flourish stuff, right? Valor.
Fighter, or I'm sorry, ranger or fighter with a bow?
Ranger.
Fighter.
Ranger.
2d8 or 4d4?
2d8.
2d8 because you don't accidentally step on them and almost die. I have almost died due to metal d4s many times.
Oh no.
I'd say 4d4.
Especially when 44 causes like 10d10 actual damage to you.
Whoops.
Fair. Druid or monk?
Ooh.
Monk. Because druids are hard.
These are just badasses.
Monks are
They
badasses.
really are.
Man, turning into a T-Rex is so fun.
Sorry, monk. Yeah, definitely monk.
Druid.
They're so cool.
No more halfling?
What?
No
more
more
halfling.
Oh, no more halfling. I thought you said no more halfling.
I know, that's
Like,
what I thought you said too. I was like, what?
Oh, we're just gonna strike them out. They're done.
Halfling.
Gnome.
I'm gonna go gnome.
RP or combat?
Yes.
RP.
Yes. Mainly RP though.
Goblin or kobold?
Oh,
Cobalt.
Cool.
yep, kobold. What'd you
High
play,
elf
one?
or wood elf?
Wood.
That extra 5 feet is important.
I didn't mean for that to be an innuendo.
Yes, you did though. Yes, you did.
I kind of did.
I'm gonna say wood elf as well, but not for that reason. But yeah.
I love the extra 5 feet of movement. That's why I'm always a wood elf.
That made the innuendo even worse. I love it.
Beautiful.
What about you, TA?
I said wood.
Oh, I didn't.
I'm either a drow because of the 120 feet of dark vision, or I'm a wood elf because of the extra 5 feet of movement.
Nicely done.
Shield master or is it polar master?
Colon?
What are you? Sorry, I'm having a hard time hearing.
Oh, shield master or polar master, I think it's called, or polar.
I don't know either one of them.
Fuck shields. Pole arms.
I'm gonna
day.
say shield master actually.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not a shield person. I've never equipped one with one of my characters. So
I never have either. Maybe once.
Mm-hmm.
Flute or
It does give you a little AC boost.
it does.
That can come in handy.
If you're a little bitch. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm sorry, if you're a cleric and you need to be up. If you're a cleric and you need to be up because you need to heal your party, yeah, that could be very helpful.
I am forever healer here.
Yep.
Lute or flute?
Loot.
Loot.
Ooh.
Love looting.
Yeah, see, I definitely was like, I loot the body was what I was going, was where my brain
Oh,
went.
is that what you? Oh,
No, no, like
I was
no,
thinking
it's
the
definitely
musical
not.
instrument.
My brain, yeah.
still loot. Yes.
Yeah, loot.
But I got excited because I thought we were hoarding.
I loot the body.
Completionists
I was
here.
like,
You've got a couple completionists
Roll
that
an
really
11.
like to loot
Yeah.
everything.
Did you pick one, Duval?
Loot.
Lute, okay.
I rolled
Last
an
one.
11 I'll roll
Done.
11 on my investigation check.
Last one is dungeon or dragon.
Dragon.
Dungeon. We can't hear you, CA.
Dungeon.
Dungeon. There could be a dragon in that dungeon.
Yeah, we don't
There's
know.
also a lot of treasure chests, which CA and I love.
Yeah, and most likely a mimic, so.
Duval, what color is your dragon?
Ooh, that's a good question. I love Brohamet. Platinum!
Run it!
We are coming down to our very last question game of the interview. First, let me say thank you guys so much for being a part of this interview and being a part of Are You Sure You Want to Do That?
Sure.
I appreciate each and every one of you. You guys are amazing, and you guys are absolutely amazing for doing everything you guys do. And you guys are always welcome here.
Aw.
I would like for one of you guys to pick who is going to send these amazing viewers and adventurers off on a little adventuring hook.
We should roll for it.
Yeah, I feel like we should roll for it.
Go
actually.
for it. Because as DMs, we're always improvising and we're coming up with stuff right on the spot. That's what I want you guys to do.
19.
Yay,
19.
Duval, you're winning! Congratulations! I wouldn't bother rolling that. Oh, it's only a 10. What a shame.
18. 18.
Yes!
So
So
close.
close.
So close. All right.
Free, everyone.
So,
Send our adventurers off on a hook.
all right. Let's see. Where do I want to go? As thunder rolls in overhead, you find a small book in the candlelight, stating as you open it, page fluttering over as the window outside is still open because you forgot to close it before the rain started coming. And you right exactly. And as the pages clatter, as fate would show, there is a small keyhole. What does it all mean? Secrets to be unlocked. What do you do?
What do you do indeed, players? Again, thank you guys so much. I will put all of you guys' descriptions in the, or you guys like links and stuff in the description below. That's what I meant to say. Words, guys.
Words are hard.
Again, thank you guys so much for being a part of this.
Thank you
And
for having us.
Indeed.
I
Thank
send
you.
you guys off with love and all of the best for you guys' games. And everyone, check out Extra Life. That sounds amazing. Or
Hell
is it
yeah.
Second Life, Extra Life,
Extra Life.
Extra
Yep.
Life. Check out
And for
Extra
those who
Life.
don't know, they raise money for Children's Hospital.
Mhm.
Oh, check it out, guys. It's gonna be amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
And we will see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.